It was just meant to be a side gig. It was like we basically opened a brewery as like a hobby. I was kind of looking for a side project to do in addition to my really boring corporate job. And I met Connor Robinson. Connor had just gotten like head over heels excited about homebrewing.
Connor was a young kid really, and he started homebrewing, which was really great for us because Chris and I have chickens at home and we had extra eggs and we wanted to be able to share them. So he would bring in his bottles of homebrew and we would trade eggs for beer, which is pretty neat.
I did a bunch of research trying to figure out like what I thought it would take to start writing my original business plan, and around the same time I pitched Connor on being the head brewer, and he agreed.
Once the idea of the brewery developed and then became a reality, all of a sudden it was myself and Connor working full-time in the brewery together. So we were brewing, we were cleaning kegs, delivering kegs, figuring all of that stuff out together.
Connor's philosophy is like way more focused on balance. So he's gonna come out with a beer that's delicious and interesting, but doesn't like punch you in the face. It's not trying to be over the top and gimmicky. It's trying to be, a well-rounded, fully executed idea.
So the name Birdsong, everybody wants to know how that came about. Connor and Chris and I took a trip out to Asheville to visit some breweries, and during that trip we found out in a roundabout way that when Connor snores, he sounds like a bird. So Chris, who was wide awake all night listening to Connor snore, said, how about songbird, birdsong? It has a nice ring to it. We decided early on that in kind of a funny way, we were just sitting at home listening to records and listening to a Rush album actually, and we had our first pale ale that we hadn't named yet, and Free Will came on, and just listening to the lyrics, we were like, what if we named all of our beers after song names? So every new beer that comes out, it's, what song is this beer? So it's been fun.
And so after about 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, it was clear that we were out of space at our original facility. And again, we lucked out in our space search and we found this building right down the street. So we went from 4,500 square feet to 17,000. And now I feel like we're out of room again, but I'm not moving. Before 2015, we were draft only. And so in 2014, at our original space, we did 3,300 barrels all in draft. We grew more than 50% the next year, and a lot of that was canning. So we introduced jalapeno pale in 16-ounce cans. We brought in a great grocery sales reps who got us into a whole bunch of spaces, and we've got 4 or even 5 beers in cans at a time. So the canning thing has totally changed the business. Try to make Birdsong an example of how you can really focus on sustainability but still grow a business and still make it fun. I've always been really focused on energy sustainability and recycling and things like that, and we realized, we could use less water by side streaming our spent yeast and our spent hops. We could generate our own electricity by covering our roof with solar panels, which is a pretty cool side benefit to owning your own building.
We're able to donate our peanut shells to the same farmer who picks up our spent grain. So he feeds them to his livestock and they just go nuts for it. So it's pretty awesome.
We're focused on the same stuff we're always focused on, which is like we want to love the beer that we're making. We want everyone to be having a good time.
We wanted it to be cozy, and we wanted to make sure that folks who are coming to the brewery would feel like it's a neighborhood place. It's kind of their other home where you could come and spend time with folks and drink some really good beer.